The African Center for Leadership Strategy and Development, supported by Christian Aid Nigeria, recently hosted a one-day conference in Abuja on decolonization and anti-racism in social work. The event convened leaders, media, practitioners, and various stakeholders to engage in conversations about decolonizing knowledge systems, examining the lasting impact of colonial histories on socio-economic theories, and promoting inclusive leadership. The executive director of Center for Leadership Strategy and Development emphasized that the residual effects of colonialism and racism continue to hinder progress in Nigeria across Africa, particularly in cultural spheres.
Every lady wants to have that fairness, even though they were not naturally fair. That is a concern. It shows that we are relinquishing the good things that God has done for us to embrace a culture that we are alien to. And all of these things goes on and on. If you, like the hair our ladies are wearing now, there's another hair underneath. But for them to look sociable, if they come here now with their natural hair, tendencies are that people will think that there is something wrong with them. That thinking that there is something wrong with them is what we are trying to check. Otherwise, there's nothing wrong with them. But the way and manner we have been socialized, you go to school, you see your mail, the phonetics, once people go there and come back, the phonetics changes. Our natural phonetics, we have also lost all of them. So, but it is not enough to lament that a lot of things have, foreign influences have not changed the way and manner that we behave and think. But it is to think of how do we change all of these things? How do we change all of these things? It is how to change it that this conference is now organized. So we did a research, and the research was very revealing. And it shows some of the things that I'm talking about today. So to deconstruct it or to challenge all of these systems that we have embraced over time, there is need for us to show courage to be able to interrogate it. There is need for us to really program on a collaborative note, people coming together with their different perspectives on how to deal with this challenge that we have found ourselves. It's for government to throw its political will behind it. Because even if you integrate it, or you have a plan to integrate it into the curriculum, and government will not support it, it will go nowhere. So government need to come in. That partnership between civil society and government need to be alive for all of these things to really penetrate.
The founding executive director, in his keynote address, highlighted how discrimination and negative portrayals affect Black communities.
At the present rate, we are unlikely to meet the SDGs by 2030. However, there is sufficient knowledge today on what can be done to eradicate poverty and inequality. A big blow can be dealt on poverty and inequality through inclusive growth and job creation, inclusive governance and citizen engagement, social protection policies and programs, addressing environmental challenges, including climate change, youth and women empowerment, leveraging technology, addressing issues of security, and focusing on education, health, agriculture, and infrastructure.
Reverend Father George also spoke, encouraging Black individuals to embrace their identity and avoid pursuing inauthentic lifestyle.
The high level of corruption in African countries and in Nigeria, I hope you know that it is linked to the colonial mentality. Because people are empty inside. People feel so empty inside, so they need to gather more houses, gather bigger cars, gather whatever, in order to show that they are somebody. They say empty barrels make the loudest noise. If people look, I went to Oxford City, where Oxford University was. or is. I went to spend some time in Oxford City, and I discovered that the high-level professors, some of those who have invented some serious things that are in Oxford City, they go around Oxford City with short knicker during the summer and t-shirts. You know the people who dress up flamboyantly? You know the people who have the Jaguars and the Mercedes-Benz? They are never do well children of Nigerians and Saudi Arabians. They are the ones that have the Jaguars. They are the ones that have the Mercedes-Benz. I am telling you that some of those high-level professors, they ride bicycle in Oxford City. Why? Because they have a sense of who they are. People who have been oppressed and who have accepted their oppression, they will still, in order to present a fake image of who they are not. So, our low level, our inferiority complex is part of our corruption. Development workers must be among those that are campaigning for this unjust international structure of money. This is neo-colonialism. Some of you heard in recent times about the French countries that are protesting against the ongoing colonialism of France. It is not only French countries, it has continued here. And in our own setting, when any government lacks legitimacy at home, they run to Chatham House, they run to Washington, they run in order to have legitimacy. And in order for them to be given legitimacy, then they need to oppress their people and accept all kinds of structures. Put their people into poverty in order to make the people in Washington and in New York happy. This is what has been happening to us, and even though a lot of people gathered here are working with partner international agencies that are European, we need to have the courage, for the sake of posterity, for the sake of the future, we need to have the courage to tell our funders that the paradigm, the partnership paradigm has continued the colonialism. The legacy of colonialism. We need to have the courage to tell the people that, look, if you are really interested in the future development of Africa, we need to change the way we do things.